Years ago, there was a wonderful book that was published called Working. Anybody ever read Working by Stubbs Terkel? It's a wonderful book. It's a book of interviews of American workers in the 20th century, the late 20th century. And every chapter was about a different person and what they did for a living. He interviewed a receptionist named Sharon, who told him, "I changed my opinions about receptionists because I am one now. I was fine with it until I was at a press party. We were having a fairly interesting conversation until they asked me what I did. When I told them, they turned around to find other people to talk to. I wasn't worth being bothered with. I wasn't being rejected because of what I said or how I talked, but simply because of my function. After that, I told people I was a communications controller. Until recently, I'd cry when I got up in the morning. I didn't want to get up. I dreaded Fridays because Monday was always looming over me. I dread looking for other jobs. I don't know what I'd like to do. That's what hurts the most. I don't know what kind of talents I may have. At the switchboard, you don't do much of anything." Did you ever have a job that drove you to tears with the thought of having to go there? Anyone? Oh, thank you. Yes, I thought maybe I was the only one. But, oh, I can't believe I have to go do this job. Maybe you have one of those jobs now, but you think you can't leave it because you need the money. You don't know what else you would do, even though you hate that job. You need the benefits that come with it. You're taking care of somebody and you can't afford to leave. Or American Express would collapse without your monthly payment. You just can't see a way of letting this job go. Considering that we spend at least a third of our lives at our job, the assumption is that we would find work that is creatively satisfying and financially fulfilling at the same time. It would make sense, yes, to do something for most of our lives that would give us joy and the compensation that we need. But too many of us end up in jobs that don't really utilize the talents and abilities that are lying dormant until the right and perfect work is revealed for us. And that's why we might feel physically ill with the thought of having to go into that place one more time. To think about work that really isn't ours to do, and we go there just feeling inauthentic the whole time we were there. You've heard that most heart attacks happen when? Monday morning. There's a reason for that. Anyone who doubts there's a body, mind, soul connection, try working as something that is not part of your divine plan. It's not pleasant. And even very successful people aren't immune from being unhappy in life. A very successful CEO of a major corporation once said, "It's too late for me. I've spent too many years doing exactly what was expected of me. Being a good son, being a good husband, being a good father. In my company, I'm known as a good soldier. When I ask myself what I'm about, I'd have to say I don't know anymore. I've tried for so long to fit in, I've held back for so long, I don't know who I am or what I am." I think that's one of the greatest tragedies of life, not knowing who I am or what I am. We're here for a divine purpose. We're here for unfolding the divine plan. And if we don't know who and or what we are, that really is a tragedy. And I think we've all been there at times, especially when we have linked our self-worth to our work or to our career. I think it was Edison who said, "I'd rather be a failure at something I love than a success at something I hate. I'd rather fail and just go ahead every day and get up excited to do it than just make money and not really enjoy where I am in life." Many of us have ignored the wonderful gifts and spirits that we have been blessed with, thinking either that they were expendable or that they were overrated or a burden or frivolous or really not marketable somehow. We're so good at diminishing ourselves. We're so good at diminishing our divine awesomeness. We've learned so well to downgrade and diminish who and what we are. We keep denying that the talents and gifts that we have is the key to our joy here on the planet. That what you can do and what you love to do really is what you're here to do. Instead, we end up doing what we are taught we should do. because it gives us security and so-called financial firm foundation. You should take that job because it pays better than what you'd like to do. So what if you're unhappy? At least you'll be secure. You should keep that job because it gives you prestige. It'll impress people. You should take that job because retirement's only, 10, 20 years away. Then you can do what you want to do after that. What we really need to do is stop shooting on ourselves. That's what we need to stop doing, is stop telling ourselves what we should be doing over and over and listen to what we would love to do. Life is about being in the divine flow of wholeness, of joy, of creative satisfaction, peace of mind, and prosperity. Life is meant to be good. Life is meant to be happy. Life is meant to be a joyful realization that there's a power within us waiting to agree with it and letting God bring it forth in the perfect and right way. Jesus said, whatever you ask, believe, and it'll show up. That middle part is the difficult part. We ask for it, but we really don't believe that it actually can happen. You can't force the good, you can't force the God good into your life, but we can only open ourselves up and allow it to flow forth. If we're unhappy about our lives, we're the only ones who can change it. We have to begin with the realization that the negative and limited beliefs are the cause of our unhappiness. No one and no thing can cause you to be unhappy or cause me to be unhappy unless I allow it in from the outside. Your father did not make you become a lawyer unless he held a gun to your head the whole time you were in law school. You chose to believe that he had power over you. He may have told you, I have power over you. But God is the only power in our lives. There's only one power, one presence actively at work, and that's God the good. Your desire to open a golf course, for example, is God desiring through you. And as Emily Cady says in Lessons in Truth, God continues to tap on the door of our subconscious, telling us the golf course is really your life. Why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing it? We get really annoyed. Because I can. Here's why. But God keeps tapping all the same. Your desire to own a theater is God's desire moving through you. Your desire to open a boutique for cats is God's desire through you. Whatever it is that you would love to do is God saying, I've got this waiting for you. But I hear this all the time when I'm counseling people. Where am I going to get the money to do it? I have the desire, but where is the money going to come from? That's none of your business. You hear that? How God's going to do this has nothing to do with you until you need to know it. So it's none of your business how God is going to work. Your job is to say yes and then say, I can't wait to see how God's going to work this out. So what would you do if money were not an issue? What would you do with your life? What would your dream life look like? Edwin Gaines, the wonderful prosperity teacher in Unity, said that a clerk, a store clerk, came to one of her workshops and said, my dream is to travel the world, but I don't know how that's going to happen because I don't have the money to do that. Edwin said, stop thinking that you're going to do that. Your job is to say yes and then watch it show up. That's all your job is to say yes to the universe and say, I can't wait to see how you're going to do this one. So she did. She went into meditation. She said, this is my dream job. This is really what I want to do. So I let it go. As we say, God's got this. God's got this. I don't know. She opened the paper 2 days later and she read this. It was a want ad. This was a few years ago, so it was in the paper. It said, retired woman looking for companion/aid. You pick where to go. And it paid. This is a paid position. She called up, they met, and she got the job. She got to do what she wanted to do in life, and she said, I don't know how this is going to come. Never in a million years would she have imagined this was how it was going to happen. You don't know how your good is going to show up, so stop thinking you do. You don't. Your job is to say, yes, I'd love to have a boutique for cats. Okay, God, take it. And then get excited about it. Get happy about it. Oh, this is really fun. If you want to own a health club, your job is to retire from what you're doing in life that isn't a health club. If you want to be a published writer, your job is to retire from Bed Bath & Beyond. If you want anything in your world, retire from what you're currently doing. Now, I did not say impulsively quit your work. Don't run out now, I haven't finished talking yet. Retire. Don't quit your job until you receive word from Spirit that now is the time to do so. It came to me a number of years ago in meditation that the word retire doesn't mean to stop working, it means to put on new tires. For the next part of your life's journey. The old tires have gotten us to where we are. We're grateful for them, but they're really old. And they're little balls right now. The old tires are hard work, stick-to-itiveness, struggle, and pain. It wasn't a whole lot of fun. It was a little bumpy, and it got us here. And so we're grateful for where we were and now where we're going. The new tires are lighter, they give a better ride, and these are intuitive understanding that God's at work. Joy, faith that God has this all figured out, and I don't know it yet. Plus, joy, enthusiasm, and passion for the good I'm going toward. If you're up for a better and more enjoyable ride, retire your life. In his book, Prosperity, Charles Fillmore, our co-founder of Unity, wrote, "The time is coming when we shall not have to work for things, for our physical needs in the way of food and clothing, because they will come through the accumulation of the right ideas of our minds. We will begin to understand that clothing represents one idea of substance, food another, and that every manifest thing is a representation of an idea." And yesterday in our class we were talking about what is unity, and I said, how would you explain unity to your friends? And we were all having a little difficulty explaining it, right? You ever try to explain unity? It's just positive and fun. So that's not really the most helpful. Philosophically, we are a teaching that believes in the reality and the power of ideas. We are idealists philosophically, which means we believe, it doesn't mean that we're Pollyanna pie in the sky, it just means that ideas are the inheritance we have from the universe. The ideas of health and abundance and success and loving relationships and living an authentic life. These are all part of the gifts of God that we have. What Mr. Fillmore is talking about right here is the ideas, when we take hold of them and let them move through in our lives, we're going to see our lives are working. Because I'm not trying to do it, I'm letting it move forward. The idea is a joyful impulse from God that is always, again, knocking on the door of our subconscious, calling us to a better life, a healthier life, a more successful and joyful life. We keep hearing over and over again, we live in a universe that loves us. We have an abundance of ideas for that good to move forth. And it will appear when we say yes, when we give it permission to move forth and create the kind of life that we love to have. There is no lack of God's good anywhere except in a scenario that I have created in my own life. Or something I borrow from another person that says, oh, this is the truth. So if I believe in a notion of lack, I'm going to express lack in my life. In money and health and relationships and work and so on. If I believe I have to be ill every winter, oh, I get 3 colds a year. What a great affirmation that is, isn't it? I get 3 colds a year, everybody together. I get 3, no. We affirm worse things than that.
Yeah, we do.
Because it's habit. Because it's a habit, that's all. Of course, we don't want to affirm we get 3 colds a year, but I can't tell you how many people even in Unity tell me that and worse. Everybody I love leaves me after 6 months. Oh, that's a lovely prayer. Isn't that lovely? That's one I don't want to write down anywhere. If I believe my passion is to be a successful boutique owner in Washington, D.C., but I don't have the money and I don't know where it's coming from, we have this wonderful idea and we just killed it with the butt. Again, as we've shared, get off your big butt. Keep getting your butt in the way and you will not have what you know is supposed to be yours. If I believe nothing is going to stop me from having this wonderful bookstore that I'd love to have, nothing's going to stop you. One of the most simple and powerful teachings in all of Scripture is found in the book of Job. You shall decree a thing, and it will be established for you. Very simple. There's no fine print there. You shall say it, and it's yours. Anyone confused about that? Anybody confused about the idea that you say yes to your good and it shows up? We know that. We absolutely know that if we've been coming to unity or studying spiritual truth for any length of time. But for some reason, our old habits keep getting in the way, and we keep denying this good is really meant for me. Say I'm always sick, and you will be. Say my success is here right now, and it is. Thank you, God. It's so exciting. This is coming forth, and I feel it, and I know it. Our prayers and our affirmations, even in unity, seem to lack joy and passion. So I ask you to examine later if your affirmation is missing this energy. Because words are simply words unless we infuse them with divine zeal and energy and passion. We often say, I never have enough money, and we get real emotional about it. That emotion keeps that not having money flowing. Instead we say, there's more than enough. I can't wait to see how it's going to come into my life, and I know it's here. And it will show up. Say, nobody wants a nice person like me to love. I've heard that so often. Nobody wants a nice guy like me. Shall we engrave that? Make a t-shirt, perhaps? I was on 23rd Street in New York, and I saw a guy walking. I was waiting for the light, and I saw a guy walking down the street. He had a little black cloud. He was really far away, but I saw that little black cloud over his head. And as he came closer, his t-shirt, I could read his t-shirt, it said, "Born to Lose." Truth is, I didn't need to read his t-shirt. I saw it coming down the street. I saw that. That was a consciousness he didn't need to tell anybody with the words. We saw that coming down the street. We're telling the planet who we are before they even meet us. The truth is, you are wonderful, you're powerful, you're awesome, you're sexy, you're beautiful. I am alive, sexy, fun, and adorable. That's the truth of who and what you are. I am alive, sexy, fun, and adorable. Affirm that with me. I am alive, sexy, fun, and adorable. Phil, you don't look like you believe it. You're sitting here glaring at me. I'm not saying adorable. I do. You're living it. Yeah, billionaires don't need to affirm I'm a billionaire anymore, right? You're already that, which you are. So if you have trouble with those words, however, these are things you may want to say to yourself later and then share it with somebody that you love. Say, I am alive, sexy, fun, and adorable. Isn't that the truth? Yes. Yes, absolutely. If you don't believe that, again, you're going to be projecting like that little cloud over that guy's head. What is it I'm projecting into my life? Am I drawing that forth? The truth is, God didn't create junk. God doesn't create ugly. God doesn't create unhealthy. God doesn't create poverty. I'm the one who has taken these ideas from outside and I have incorporated them into my being. I've seen people who, and we've all known people who are not what you might call classically handsome or conventionally beautiful, but they glow with this great spiritual beauty that is just overwhelming sometimes. Because they realize that they are the light of the world, that they are beautiful, that they are sexy and fun and adorable as well. What you affirm and live with passion becomes the prayer the universe will grant you. What you affirm and what I affirm with passion and energy becomes the prayer the universe will automatically bring back to me. So what have you been affirming with passion? I want you to think about the few days that you've been yakking away, as we all do. Have you been affirming, my job is boring, I'm in a lousy relationship, my bank account's empty, I don't know what to do? Retire that. Affirm with good the joy and enthusiasm and truth that God has it all worked out. It's already here right now. At one point in my life, I had had enough of being a waiter. I had been in unity for a little while, and I knew that I had to find a new way of approaching my life for me to work as a performer full time. So I took it to God within, and it was revealed, you've tied yourself to what you don't want with your words, and with your energy, and with your resentment. I heard to loosen that, love where you are, love the people where you are. I said, but God, you don't work there, you don't know these people. And God said, I do know these people. So I began to apply what I heard. I blessed the owner with love and peace. Walking on water would have been easier. But I continued doing it. I blessed the other waiters, the customers, the cook, the busboy, the roaches. I blessed everything there. And I was using I had just recently heard an affirmation that I continue to use this day, and we've been affirming it here. I am in my right place, going to my true place. I am in my right place, going to my true place. Affirm that with me. I am in my right place, going to my true place. So as I began to do this, after a few days, I really began to feel love for everybody, even the roaches. I went, oh, sweet little thing, and I said, sweep them off the door instead of killing them. So the love I was feeling for everybody was just astonishing. And my relationship and their relationship began to change. And within 1 month, I was out of there, and I didn't do restaurant work after that. So what I heard from the Spirit was real, was true. If you want to get out of where you are, love yourself and love everything around there, and love yourself out of it. It's the only permanent way of moving into the life that you desire, into the life that you were meant to have. One night a number of years ago now, maybe 20 years ago, I was at Joe Allen restaurant in New York City. It's a theater restaurant. And at the next table, I realized I was sitting next to the legendary director, George Abbott. He was discussing his next show with the backers of the Broadway musical that turned out to be the revival of Damn Yankees. Now, the amazing thing wasn't that there was a director sitting across from me talking about his new show, because that happens all the time in New York. The amazing thing was George Abbott was 105 years old. He was 105 years old, and he was very excited about his new show. He had done like hundreds of shows already. At 105, he had been working since the 1920s. And I could tell that he was excited about this show as any show that he was doing or had done. So he was 105. What's your excuse? What's my excuse for not getting excited about what I know is coming into my life? Jesus said to the man lying by the pool for 40 years, do you want to be healed? He said, you've been lying there for 40 years. I'm kind of having my doubts. It's been 40 years. And finally the guy got it, and he got up. Jesus was saying, get up and get excited about your life. Get up and let go of the fear you've been carrying here for 40 years. There's nothing to be afraid of, because with God at work, there really and truly is nothing to fear. God is waiting for you and me to live the life that we actually came to live, and do it with joy, and watch out. Things are going to get so good from now on. When you say yes, your life will never be the same. Take a breath. Close your eyes. Breathe into your heart. How excited are you for the new retirement? For the new life? For the authentic life that you came to live? Feel it. Open your heart, open your soul, open your mind to the great possibilities the Spirit has waiting for you. I am filled with unending joy. I'm filled with excitement and anticipation. I'm filled with new ideas for abundant good. I act on the information God is giving me, and I am a success in whatever way I picture works for me. Breathe in and let go. And as we begin to go into our meditation time, we sing our way in. So I invite you to sing, or simply sit and listen to this music. Our thoughts are prayers. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. Every thought is a prayer. Every word we speak is a prayer. Every feeling is a prayer. Every action is praying what we are holding within. What thought has been prominent in your mind this week? of fear or anxiety. Let it go. Leave it outside. We don't need it today. Because those are not God ideas. The God idea is God has this. God is in charge, and my desire, the good I've been seeking, is God seeking it through me. Today I give God permission. Today I let go, because I don't know how to do it. I never have. When I can admit that, it's the beginning of my healing. As our elder brother said, I of myself do nothing. It is God within that does the work. So breathe into your heart, breathe into your body, breathe into your mind. Breathe life and success into your thoughts. Simply be here right now in the presence of love, of joy, of peace, of all good. There is only one power, one presence, God the good. If you've been worrying about this body temple, about some issue or concern, let it go. And bless your body. I bless my perfect body. Perfect means complete, nothing missing. So I bless it as it is. And I know God is at work revealing what to do and how to do it at the right and perfect time. I breathe into what may be a pain or an ache, and I see the power of God healing, renewing, restoring me to perfect wholeness. I bless my work. Even if you are retired from what you did, you are still working. You're still creating. Still living your life. What is the next step in your divine plan? We bless it. We know that we are prosperous, that we are abundantly blessed at all times, no matter what I'm doing or not doing. God is here and God is at work, tapping on the door of our hearts. I bless my perfect mate, my perfect home. I bless people in my life who are God showing up in various and wondrous ways. I have a good life, moving into a great life. I am in my right place. And with God at work, guiding me perfectly, I end up in the perfect, joy-filled, creative life that I was meant to have, that I came here to live. Breathe into your heart. In the silence of our being, just for a few moments, all it takes is a brief moment in quiet to know that God and I are one. God is in charge. Take a breath. Deep breath. And breathe out. All it takes is that brief moment in the quiet and the silence of our being to know that God is here, God is at work. As we bring our sense of self and time back into this room, we sing, the greatest thing in all my life is loving you.